So I lied to you. We're back with one more here at GBA TV. It's the Swarm and the Hoopsters, and this will be our final broadcast for today. I misread the schedule, and there's a quick two by the Ohio Lady Hoopsters. That was number 23, and that was Sophie Folwell who scored on that one. So, I'm sorry, no, not Folwell, that is Kopiar. And on the other end, there's a shot that is up, and that is no good, and it's rebounded by number 22. That's Geis. And it will be Hoopsters ball here. It is Jeremy Scott one last time with you for today. And I'm efforting to write some names down here for a roster as we continue to watch this game unfold. And that's the Swarm who have it now. That is number 1 for the Swarm. That's Mackenzie Soprano. And that's stolen away by the Hoopsters. That's Finch. Finch on the drive, and that is going to be a foul. That will be a foul on the Swarm. Outside. There's a shot for 3, and that's no good. That was Kopiar. And again, I'm trying to write down these rosters and scribble them down as quickly as I possibly can, and there's a travel violation, so that'll help me to get a little bit more done here in terms of my notes. It is Jeremy Scott, and of course, Kayla Cazell manning the camera. And it's the Swarm on offense. That's Mackenzie Soprano controlling it. And she gives it off to number 23. That's Sophie Folwell. So catching up here, it is 2-0 Hoopsters. Swarm to inbound. That is Kopiar. No, that's not Kopiar. That is number 23, Folwell. Looking at the wrong roster there. And there's a rebound, and that's an offensive board for the Swarm, and that's going to be a foul. Nope, they're going to call a charge. Yes, they are going to call a foul, but not on who I thought it was on. That is on Abby Smith, number 00. Now, here's what's interesting about this team. There are 2 Abby Smiths, ABBIE, and she wears number 32, and ABBEY wearing number 00. So 2 Abby Smiths on one team. Kind of an interesting situation there. On the other end, laying it up and missing is number 22. That is Geis. And they're going to call a foul on number 14, Poliowski. Taking it down the other end, that's Smith. Smith on the drive, and Smith loses it in the paint, and there's a tie-up. And that will favor the Swarm, so the Swarm will keep this possession. There's a quick shot for 3. That's no good, and it's going to be rebounded by the Swarm. So rebounded by the Swarm. That's Soprano on the rebound, and there's a shot. That's up. That's no good. That shot was taken by number 32, Abby Smith. And on the other end, there's a shot. That's up and no good for Jackson. All right, so now the rosters have been scribbled down, and we are good to go here at court number 1. We appreciate everybody helping to get us these rosters, as always. Pulaski checks out, and number 40, Bergman, checks in. And that second shot by Renard falls. And the score is 3-0. The Hoopsters lead the Swarm. That is Joy. Joy giving it up. And there's a pass inside. That's stolen away. Stolen away by Renard. Renard on the drive. Renard pushing this ball down the floor on the fast break. Up and good. That is Mabry Renard for 2. 5-0 is the score. And almost having the ball poked away are the Swarm, but able to get it back is Abby Smith. Smith on the baseline, looking for somebody to pass it to. Smith looking for somebody to come back to the ball, and does find somebody to come back to the ball. That's Soprano. Soprano underneath to Abby Smith. That's a shot. That's up no good. Gets her own shot. That's no good. Gets another opportunity at a shot, and that is no good. But finally, Abby Smith gets fouled, and that foul is going to be on Barrickman. So Barrickman picks up that foul. And so Abby Smith goes to the free throw line with an opportunity to put points on the board for the first time for the Swarm. First shot for Smith is no good. Second shot is no good. So 0 for 2 at the foul line, that time for Abby Smith. The score remains 5-0. There's a shot, that's up, and that is no good. Rebounded by Smith. Abby Smith, the woman underneath, and she is fouled.
That's 2 quick ones, Lori. That's 2 quick ones on Porter. Just picked up 2 fouls.
And that foul on Bergman, that is actually her second. Smith looking to inbound it, and she does. She finds Soprano. Over comes to Irwin, back outside to Joy. Underneath to Smith. Smith with the ball, that's no good on the shot. And that's taken by the Hoopsters. And that is number 32, Dennison, who has it. Dennison fouled. And it will be Dennison to inbound it. So Finch will bring the ball up the floor. Finch gets a call from the Hoopsters sideline. Pass it outside. And double team, there is Dennison. Back at the foul line, into the corner. There's a drive on the baseline. That's a shot, that's up, and that's no good. But on the foul, that will be number 11 for the Hoopsters. Parcel stepping to the line. So Purcell, we're going to call her, is going to take 2 foul shots here. Parcell at the line. First shot good. Six to nothing the score. Hoopsters out to a quick lead over the Swarm. We're at 10:19 to play here in the first half. Second shot up, and second shot is good for Parcell. So Parcell goes 2 for 2 at the line there. 7-0 is the score. It's the Swarm's ball. To Jackson. And it's knocked out of bounds, and that's going to go off of Abby Smith, they say. And it's going to go back to the Hoopsters now. 7-0. Yeah, there's a pass to the foul line, and thinking about a three-pointer at the right wing, passing up that shot and passing it off. That was number 32, Dennison. As Abby Smith grabs the rebound. Swarm pushing the ball back down the floor. And that is Soprano. Inside to Joy. There's a shot. That's up. That's no good. Joy with another opportunity at it. That's no good. Smith gets it. She puts it back up, and finally Abby Smith puts 2 on the board for the Swarm. And it is 7-2 now. That is the Swarm's first bucket, and that comes with a little over 9.5 to play here in the first half. On the other end, that shot is no good by Cashel. And there's a sub, couple of subs as a matter of fact. Number 4, Renard, and number 22, I'm sorry, 4 is Jackson, 22 is Geis. So 4 Jackson, 22 Geis. And there's a timeout on the floor. with 9:20 to go here in the first half. We'll be back right here on GBA TV. We resume game action here, court number 1 at Dublin Jerome High School. Score 7-2. The Hoopsters on top of the Swarm. GBA TV, it's Jeremy Scott. And it's the Swarm's ball as we speak. That is Joy. She is guarded very closely by Finch. Joy driving to baseline. She's going to put it up, and she's going to miss that shot. That's taken by number 4, Jackson. Back come the Hoopsters on offense, and that's intercepted. Intercepted by Irwin. Irwin pushed the ball down the floor for the Swarm, and it's taken back by Finch. Finch has it for the Hoopsters now. Back outside to Geis. Cross-court pass to Jackson. Back up top to Geis. Over to the left, and Finch. Finch for 3. No good. That's short, and it's taken there by Jackson with a hook shot. What a shot by Jackson. And that makes it 9-2. Nice hook shot. Meadowlark Lemon would have been proud of that one. 9-2 is the score. The Hoopsters are on top. On the other end, Abby Smith with a shot. She banks it. No good. Thought it was going to fall for her, but it did not. And it's Jackson pushing the ball back down the floor. Jackson back outside to Geis. Into the left corner. Thinking about a shot and passing up that shot is Dennison. Dennison looking for somebody to pass it to, and they're going to get her with a travel. Was wondering if that might happen. She stopped the dribble. And inbounding it for the Swarm will be Smith. Playing the point is Joy, and she's met by Finch.
Because you're not running. I can't take a thing. You're not running thing.
Right here, Black.
Inbounds it comes to Joy. It's Lakin Joy. Outside to Smith. Back up to Joy. There's a shot, and that's a three-pointer, and that's no good, and that's rebounded there by Jackson. Jackson pushing it back down for the Hoopsters. Jackson on the outside. Gets it over to Finch. Finch going to drive, and Finch is tied up, and they're going to call it a foul on number 4, it looks like, for the Swarm, and that is Renard. So Renard.
1-1. 5. You got 7. You have 7, they have 5.
So Finch at the line. First shot is up, and it's good. So on the back end of this 1-1, we'll see if Finch is able to convert and make this a 2-point play. And she's not able to that time. That is no good, and that's rebounded by Smith. That is Soprano. Soprano. Bounce pass. Back it comes to Soprano and onto the outside and Joy. Left side, inside, up, no good. And that's Smith who got fouled on her way up. And that foul on number 22, Geis.
Tony, that's Tony. It's 2 on Nalia.
Abby Smith at the line. She'll be shooting 2. The first one does not fall for her. Back into the ball game is Parcell as Geis checks out. Second shot for Smith. It goes in. Yes, it does. So the score 10-3. Three-point shot from the other end. That is no good, and there is a rebound by the Swarm, and they're going to say that the rebounding player, Joy, stepped on the end line there, which has been a big trap for a lot of teams all night, all day and all night. 7:14 to go here in the first. 10-3, the Hoopsters lead the Swarm. Jackson calls out a play. That's going to be Cashel. And that's going to be out of bounds. Joy playing the point. Onto the right wing. There's a bounce pass inside. There's a shot that's up. That's no good for Smith. And that foul on Jackson. So Jackson picks up that foul. And Abby Smith will go back to the free throw line where she is 1 of 2 so far this evening. First shot is up and it's good. So the Swarm cut the Hoopsters lead to 6. There's a second shot and it swishes home. So 2 for 2, that trip to the line for Abby Smith. The lead cut to half. It's 10-5, and there's a three-point attempt. That is up, and that is good. Kopiar 4-3. And it's 13-5. Couple of changes there for the Hoopsters, as the Swarm have it now. That's Soprano bringing the ball up the floor. Over to Renard. Underneath to Abby Smith, and Smith gets fouled on her way up. So Abby Smith, who has been to the line quite a bit so far, she's been there twice. She's going to go back, and I say quite a bit so far because we still have 6.5 to play. We've only played 7.5 minutes worth of basketball, but Abby Smith has already been to the line twice. And it should be a 1-and-1 situation, and I do believe they are going to correct it and make it a 1-and-1. First shot for Smith is no good, rims out. And there's a foul. Nope, not going to be a foul. It's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be off the Hoopsters. So, despite the Smith miss, there's a short corner shot. That's up. That's no good. Into the paint it comes. And that's going to be a foul. That will be a foul on the Swarm. And that is a foul on Abby Smith. Dennison will step to the line now. Front end of 1-and-1, good. Kopiar will check out as Dennison steps back to the free throw line for the second of these shots. Shot up, and it does not fall for her. So 1 for 2, that trip to the line for Dennison makes the score 14-5. It's Joy spinning. Over to Irwin. Underneath to Smith, who banks it home. Good lay in there by Smith. She's got 4. The score 14-7. There's a steal, and Swarm ball again, and goes out of bounds.
Sub, sir.
I don't want that hit. I want hit.
There's an inbounds pass, and that will be Finch bringing the ball down the floor. Gets it over to Dennison. Dennison loses it, and that's Abby Smith who gives it up to Joy. Joy now on the other end. Outside. That's to Renard, and Renard is going to be lucky here because they're going to say that a Hoopster player tipped that one out of bounds. So before anybody could actually get to it, that was Finch who tipped that ball out of bounds before anybody could get to it. So the Swarm maintain possession. And checking in, that is Renard for Renard, actually. That's Levy Renard checking in for Mabry Renard.
Straight up, Paige.
And that's Abby Smith on the other end. Boy, she's making a living in that paint here so far. That time that shot doesn't fall for her. And that's Finch pushing the ball back down. Finch gives it off to Jackson. Jackson pulls up from the elbow, puts it up. That's no good. And there's a rebound underneath. There's a shot again, and that one is not going to fall either. And that's going to be rebounded by the Swarm that time. It was Pulowski who missed that shot. Renard for three. That's no good. Cashel, layup good. 16-7 is the score.
ISO, Aubrey, set the screen, high screen. Set the high screen.
And that's a inside shot for Abby Smith, who, again, just gets it done underneath to make the score 16-7. That shot up and that shot good. And that was Dennison who made that last bucket. And that's a foul there on Jackson. That brings up a 1-and-1 situation.
What's 1-1? It's 1-1. You got to sub here too. You can go in. You can go. Hey, that's 2 on Clark. 2 on Clark. Hey, Libby.
At the free throw line, that first shot goes in for Falwell. Sophie Falwell at the line. Second shot is up and it's good. So Sophie Falwell goes 2 for 2 that time at the line to score 18-11. And it's taken away by Smith. Abby Smith has it. 18-11 the score. The Swarm looking to cut into this Hoopster lead. On the other end, that is number 40, Irwin. Irwin up top, it comes. That is Soprano. Soprano tries to give it up underneath to Smith, and Smith is fouled on her way up, and Abby Smith will go back to the line. I'll tell you what, so far the Hoopsters have had no answer for Abby Smith down low. Oh, they're going to call a travel.
You call travel.
And they're going to sort this one out. Nope, they're going to call a travel on Abby Smith, I guess. So, disregard everything about her going back to the free throw line, and there's a jump ball situation, and that ball will remain Hoopsters' ball. .402 to go here in the first half. Up top it comes to Geis. Geis back to Finch. Finch underneath, and that's no good. Won't fall for her. That's a rebound by Dennison. Back outside. That's to Finch. Finch for three. Drains it. What a shot by Finch to make it a 21-11 ball game. On the other end.
Good hustle, Monty.
That is Finch. Finch going for it. Oh. That looked like there was some physicality there that probably could be considered for a technical foul. Is that what they're going to call here? And I'll tell you what, Finch is pretty heated over there. And it's going to be a technical foul called on Finch. So it's a 2-shot technical foul. And the first one goes in there. That's for Falwell. Makes it 21-12. Second shot for Falwell is good as well. So
Hey, Lily, side out. Side out. Hey, what's up first? What's up first?
21-12 is the score. There's an inbounds pass to Joy. Joy over to Smith, and Smith is fouled, and she'll go to the line for a 1-and-1 now. Abby Smith, who is 3 of 5 so far here. That's 60% from the line. No, it's a 2-shot foul, excuse me. So the referee signaled for a 1-and-1, but it's actually a 2-shot foul. Abby Smith misses on the front end of this 2-shot situation. So 3 of 6 is what she is from the line for 50% now. As Pulaski checks in and checking out Barrickman.
Aubrey, 3-2. We're back in a 3-2. Tell Sophie.
Smith. Long off the back of the iron on that second shot. So Abby Smith not able to convert. But of course those technical foul shots did go through for the Swarm. As underneath, that is Pulaski. Pulaski with a layup, that's up and good.
And one.
Swarm back on offense. That's 40 Irwin. She gives it up to 10 Joy.
Good. Kick it away.
And there's a 5-second call. That foul on number 23. Nope.
Hey, I'm sorry. No. Sorry, sir. 1-1.
It's a 1-and-1 situation here as number 23, Kopiar, will step to the line. First shot up is good. Kopiar. Second shot, short. Back on the Swarm on offense. 2 minutes, 45 seconds, and winding on this first half clock. Pretty intense game. Joy all the way. That's no good, and that's rebounded by Parcell. And she is fouled.
2 shots. 2, that's 10. That's 2 shots.
And the referee over here for the Swarm better be careful, or he might pick up a technical. He was really getting in that referee's face. So Parcell at the line. First shot up and good. Score 25-12. Second shot is no good. That's rebounded by Smith. Overcomes, and there's a jump ball. That's a tie-up. And it will remain Swarm ball. Dennison with the good hustle there to create that tie-up. Inbounds it comes. That's Falwell. And that's going to be taken away by number 23, Kopiar. Over to Denton. Nope. That's over to Cashel and knocked out of bounds. will be Cashel at the free throw line to shoot 2. First shot up and rims out, no good. Second shot for Cashel falls, good. 26-12, now the score. That shot up, and that shot is good. That's a 2-point bucket for the Swarm there. Underneath, that's a short corner shot. That's up, and that's no good, but it was a good look there for Parcell. And it's a travel that's called on the Swarm. Parcell to inbound. She does to Kopiar. Kopiar's shot is short, and it goes out of bounds. Going to come back to the Swarm. That is Renard. Renard loses it. That's Dennison with it now. Dennison pushing the ball back down the floor. Dennison on the drive. Dennison on the shot. Good. And the Hoopsters lead this one 28-14. Now the official scores table has 28-15, so we'll go with them. As there's a shot that's short, and it's taken by Smith, and she is able to corral it and put it back in for 2. So now 28-17 your score. Favor the Hoopsters. That is Cashel into the corner. Wide open look. That is no good. And it's a rebound by the Swarm. Good look there for Parcell, but not able to convert. 1:14 and winding on this first quarter, this first half clock. There's a shot. That's up. That's no good, and that's going to be rebounded by the Hoopsters, it looks like, for the time being. But is there a tie-up? No, there's not. The Hoopsters have it. Hoopsters pushing the ball down the floor, and there's a timeout called by the Hoopsters. Boy, I tell you what, it was finally called, that timeout. And that will be a break in the action here. So we'll go ahead and take it with them with the score 28-17 back here on GBA TV. Back here at court number 1, it is the GBA Celtic Classic here. It's Jeremy Scott at Dublin Jerome High School. We've got the Hoopsters leading the Swarm by 11. The Hoopsters have the ball with a little over a minute to play here in this first half. And that is Kopiar giving it off to Dennison. And into the corner to Cashel. Cashel able to get it back before it goes out of bounds. And then there's a scrum for a loose ball. And it comes up Swarm ball. Swarm pushing the ball down the floor. It's 1-on-2. There's a shot that is up, and that's called for a charge. That is number 23, Falwell. Falwell called for a charge. And inbounds it comes to Parcell. And Parcell is going to be called for a walk. And there's a pick set, and then underneath it comes to Smith. Smith puts it up. That's no good. Rebound by Smith. She gets her shot, and she's going to go back to the line for a 1-and-1. So Abby Smith gets 2 cracks at this one. First shot up, no good. Smith back at the line. She makes that one, so it's 28-18. It's a 10-point ball game. Hoopsters up by 10. As Abby Smith checks out for the Swarm, and checking in is Renard. Mabry Renard. Inbounds to Dennison, and there's an almost stolen ball, and nobody touched it, as a matter of fact, so it went over everybody's head, and it's going to come back to the Swarm now. Three-point attempt for Renard. That's no good. Underneath the hoop to get it is Irwin. Irwin goes back up with it, and she's going to be fouled by Dennison. First shot is up, and that's good. So Irwin with her first point of the ball game. 28-18 the score. 28-19, excuse me. Second shot is up, and it falls. So that one is good as well for Irwin. 28-20.
Yep. What happened?
So apparently, on that shot, when they were coming into the lane, a foul was called on the Hoopsters. So that is a bonus 2 free throws here for the Swarm. As Joy misses the first one. Second shot up, and that is good for Joy. And that's Joy's first point. It does cut the Hoopsters' lead to 7. 28-21 into the corner. Quick three-pointer, that's up, that's no good. And Ohio Hoopsters track that one down. That's Parcell. And that will do it for that first half, and that will be how that first half ends. 28-21, the Hoopsters on top of the Swarm. We'll be back with the second half of play right here on GBA TV. All right, we are back here at court number 1. It's the GBA Celtic Classic here at Dublin Jerome High School. And as I sit here, I look at this Dublin Jerome wall, see all kinds of state championships on the part of all kinds of Dublin Jerome teams. Seems to me like they have a really good golf team, boys golf and girls golf both. All right, so with that being the case, there is a step out of bounds on the part of Finch. So Finch, who was called for that technical foul in the first half, steps on the end line there, and she's not happy with that call whatsoever. Joy gets a call from the sideline. Hard pick set on Finch. Shot from the outside, that is up and no good, and it's going to go out of bounds. And who will that be off of? That will be off of the Hoopsters, so it remains swarm ball. Jeremy Scott here, and this will be our final broadcast of the day, but of course we will be bringing you action all day tomorrow right here on GBA TV. Underneath the Smith it goes. That is up and that is good. Abby Smith for 2 makes it 28-23. The Hoopsters lead is cut to 5. Finch over to Jackson. Jackson with a short corner shot. That is too long, and that's taken by the Swarm. And that's going to be a foul. Looks like on Geis. Geis is called with that foul.
That's 3 on Lilia.
Joy to bring the ball up the floor and play the point on this possession. And loose ball taken by the Swarm. Up at the foul line, that is Smith. Smith tries to pass it off, and it's picked off by Geis, and Geis loses it, and it's going to go off of the Swarm. They're going to say that's off Falwell, and subbing into the game is Cashel, and who's going to come out? Geis, it looks like. Geis out, Cashel in. Wide open 3 look for the Hoopsters. That's up and that's no good. And it's taken back by the Hoopsters. So offensive rebound by Cashel. Pulowski. Over comes to Finch. Finch up with the left hand, and that's no good. And Finch is going to go to the line, and she's going to shoot 2. Good sportsmanship there by Joy, coming over and kind of giving Finch a little tap, saying good play. And now Finch, who is 1 for 2 at the line so far today, is going to go back to the charity stripe. First shot up, and it's short. No good. Finch's second shot. That is up, and that is also going to be short, and it's rebounded by number 23, Falwell. So, Swarm with it, 28-23 the score. Over it comes. And that's Soprano who loses it out of bounds, and it's going to go back to the Hoopsters. So we are a little over a minute and a half gone by. We're at 12:23 to go here in the second half. So lots of basketball to be played. The score 28-23. The Hoopsters on top of the Swarm. Jeremy Scott at courtside alongside Kayla Cazell on camera. There's a long three-pointer. That's up, and that's no good. And it's rebounded there by Smith. Smith gives it up to Joy. And I think the referees may have missed a travel there. They let him play on, though. Baseline, short corner shot. That's up, and that's no good. It's rebounded there by Smith. She puts it back up, and that's no good. And it's taken by the Hoopsters. So the Hoopsters end up with it after 2 missed shots on that possession on the part of the Swarm, as Finch is there for an easy lay-in. Finch for 2 makes it 30-23. Down at the other end, it's over the head of the intended receiver, but they're going to say that Jackson knocked it out of bounds. So it remains Swarm ball. And they've got a sub to come in for the Lady Hoopsters. And that will be Dennison. Dennison in and Kopiar out. Inbounding for the Swarm is Falwell. Into Smith it goes, and that is up, and that's a bank shot. Good. Abby Smith, who's been a force inside all day long, makes the score 30-25. Outside to Jackson. And stolen away by Smith. Smith on the defensive side now. Just got it done on the offensive side. There's a good defensive play by her. On the other end, Falwell for three. No good. And rebounded by the Hoopsters. Back they come on offense. Up to Finch. Finch looking ahead. And she passes it over. Nice pass underneath. And that is up. And that is good for Cashel. What good vision there by Finch. Cashel cashes in. 32-25. Short corner shot. That is up. That's no good. And it's rebounded by Smith underneath. Smith with another opportunity at it. And again, she just proves to be way more than the Hoopsters can handle once she has that ball in the low post. And the score, 32-27. Pump fake. Baseline drive by Jackson. That's up. That's no good. She had a good look at it. And there's a foul. And I do believe they're going to get the Hoopsters. And that's going to be Cashel who's called with the foul. Couple of subs coming in here now. Sitting will be 14 Pulowski and number 4 Jackson. And 40 is Barrickman. She's into the ball game now. And Parcell, number 11, in as well. There's a three-point shot. That's a quick three-pointer. That's up. That's no good. Rebounded there by Barrickman. Over to Cashel. Dennison pushing the ball up the floor. That is Finch. Finch, no good on the shot, and it's rebounded by Smith. And are they going to grant a timeout before that ball was swatted away? Yes, they are. So a timeout by the Swarm, 32-27. We're at exactly 10 minutes to go here in this second half. Back with more here on GBA TV.
This is Tom Strasser from GBA TV Studios at the 14th Annual Celtic Classic here at Dublin Jerome. And you're watching GBA TV on Facebook and YouTube, where you are watching over 20 hours of live streaming games as well as interviews from players and coaches here at the Celtic Classic.
All right, Tom Strasser, thank you very much. Back to courtside, and this ball game between the Hoopsters and the Swarm has turned into a pretty good game here. It's only a 5-point game as we speak. The Hoopsters are on top by 5. And this, of course, our last broadcast of the day. I looked at the schedule wrong. I thought the last game was our last broadcast, but actually this one will be our last broadcast. So, happy to bring you one last game. Why not? And that will be Soprano bringing up the ball for the Swarm. She is taken by Finch. Another pick set on Finch. Underneath the hoop it goes, and that is up, and that is no good. That's rebounded by Dennison. Dennison pushing the ball back down the floor. Dennison pushing the ball down the floor on the right side. She's going to take it coast to coast, and she is going to be called with a charge. And she ran right into that Swarm player. That seemed like a pretty easy call because that Swarm player, who happened to be Falwell, had her feet very well set. And that was a pretty easy call for that referee to make. So that is the third foul then on Dennison. Finch guarding Soprano. There's a three-point look, and that's short, and that's taken by number 40, Barrickman, as Finch pushes the ball back down the floor. Up underneath, and just a little too far ahead for the intended receiver, Parcell. As 3 are in, 3 are out. Dennison, as well as Cashel and Parcell, all sit out. And there's a ball knocked out of bounds by Jackson. I've noticed that every time the Swarm get the ball and Finch is the one guarding the point, there's always a pick set on her once they get past the half-court line. So some interesting strategy there that I've just kind of happened to notice here by the Swarm. Outside. And in the low post, that's Smith. Smith turns around, shoots it. That's no good. Rebounded by Barrickman. Push the ball forward. That's Jackson. Jackson ahead to Finch. Finch 1-on-3 situation, and that is going to be a foul on number 40, Irwin. And so Finch will step up to the line, and she will shoot 2. First shot is short for Finch. Finch has had her free throw shooting troubles She's only 1 for 5 here. Second shot is up, and that one gets a little closer, still no good. And that's Berrickman on the rebound. She puts it back up. That's no good, and that is number 23, Kopiar underneath. No, I'm sorry, that's not Kopiar. That's Geis. And Geis draws the foul, and some congratulations from her teammates as well. But yeah, Finch has had a lot of issues at the foul line here so far. She is only 1 now of 6. And stolen away. That's a steal by Soprano. Soprano on the other end. She puts it up, and that's no good. That's rebounded by Finch. Finch pushing the ball up the floor now. Finch on the left side. Finch pushing the ball up the floor. And she's got an opportunity here, but it's stolen away again by Soprano. And there's a loose ball situation, and that's taken by Geis. Geis gets it over to Berrickman. Berrickman puts it up, and that's no good. That's rebounded by number 23, Kopiar. She puts it back up, and she is fouled on her way up. And so Kopiar will step up to the line, and she will shoot 2. Kopiar's first shot, swish. So Finch will sit. Back into the game, Cashel. Second shot is good for Kopiar. No problems at the foul line that time for the Hoopsters. 34-27 the score. We're at a little over 8 minutes to go here in the second half. That's Smith. Smith gives it off underneath. That's a shot that is up, and that is good. Falwell from the short corner puts it at a 5-point advantage again for the Hoopsters, 34-29. Kopiar over to Jackson. Jackson, that is no good. That is long, and they're chasing it down. They're going to say it went off of Cashel on the rebound attempt, and so it will be Swarm ball once again. Swarm could cut this to a one-possession ball game, depending on what happens on this possession. That's Soprano. Over to the left. Back to Soprano it goes. Up top. Soprano drives. Soprano tried to feed it to Smith, and it was stolen away. Back they come on offense. That is Kopiar. Kopiar underneath. Kopiar shot no good. Rebounded there by Soprano. Soprano now has it. She's pushing the ball back down the floor. She gives it over to Falwell. Falwell to Smith underneath. Smith has it partially blocked. She gets it back. She puts it up and in. Abby Smith proving to be a lot for these Hoopsters to handle down low. 34-31, there's a short corner shot, and that's no good, and that's rebounded by Falwell. And that's Renard who has it now. She is guarded there by Geis. Into the short corner once again. That's a block by Jackson out of bounds. That's the second time Jackson has blocked a shot. That's the second straight possession where we've seen a block by Jackson. As checking out of the ball game will be Berrickman, as well as 23 Kopiar, as Pulowski and Dennison will check back in. Falwell. Ball gets swatted. Back into the hands of a Swarm player. That one's no good. Rebounded by Jackson. Jackson has it now, and she's going to get called for a travel because when she got possession of that ball, she went down with it, and she wasn't dribbling right when she went down, so they're going to get that for a travel every time. So the score 34-31. It is a one-possession ball game. The Swarm could cut it to one or even tie it up on this possession. Swarm have not led at all so far this game. Inbounds it goes. And they are able to get it in. And there's a shot, and that is up, and that is no good for Irwin. And that's taken and then stolen away. Stolen back by the Swarm. Irwin gets it back underneath. And it's a loose ball, and it's Jackson who ends up with a 2-on-1 advantage here for the Hoopsters. And underneath the hoop it goes up, and no good on the shot, but Dennison will go to the line, and she will shoot 2. She almost got that ball to go, and boy, what a shot that would have been if she would have gotten that up in there, but she will be going to the line, and she will be shooting 2 foul shots. Dennison at the line. First shot is no good. And that will be Mabry Renard checking in, and that will be Aubrey Irwin checking out. Dennison. Second shot up, and second shot no good. Rebounded by Jackson. Offensive board there for the Hoopsters, and Jackson is fouled off of that rebound.
32, that's 5. 5 on 32.
And it looks like one of the players has fouled out for the Swarm, and that would be Abby Smith, and that is up, and that is no good.
It's 5 fouls on 32. 5 fouls on 32.
And
Yeah, she fouled out. No, I said 5 fouls. 5 fouls on 32. Yes.
so
Hey, we got a foul on them there too. Hey, slide out. Slide out.
So apparently there was a foul called on Jackson as well that we weren't aware of.
How many is that on Clark? How many is that on Clark?
Clark, 3.
You're up, Kirsten. Top. Step up, Clark. Kirsten, right on top of that girl. Right there. Rebuild.
So Irwin has it. Nope, that's not Irwin. That is Joy playing the point. And there's a foul away from the ball. That foul will be on Abby Smith.
Sir, that's 5 on 00.
And the Swarm coach having some words for this official over here. Some parents from the stands not exactly happy with that call either.
Sub, sir, sub.
And the reason that this ball has not been given yet to this player is because this parent is over here yelling at an official. He may be removed if he's not careful. And it is inbounded over here to 14 Pulowski. She gives off to Jackson.
Put your hand up.
Jackson over comes to Dennison. Dennison over to Finch. Finch has it. Finch up at the top. Finch playing the point with some fancy dribbling. Over it comes to Dennison, over to Jackson. Jackson on the left. She gives up to Geis on the baseline. Back up top, back into the corner, I should say, to Jackson. Cross-court pass over to Finch. She has a wide open look. That's up, and that is no good. And it is rebounded by number 1, Soprano. So Soprano's got it now for the Swarm. Soprano bringing the ball back down the floor. She finds in the corner Renard. Renard has it now. Renard is going to give it up, and it is going to be in the corner once again. Wide open look there. That is no good. Rebounded by Finch.
1 and 1. 1 and 1.
What was that?
And that's going to come back the other way, and it will be a 1-and-1 situation.
She should be tossed her out.
And this coach for the Swarm is going to get teed up here because he's been barking at these referees all game long, and you could probably hear him in my microphone as we speak.
I don't understand it. Look, see that elbow?
And the official just ordered him to sit down for the rest of the game as Finch misses on the front end of this technical situation. And Finch, who's had trouble at the line, has been selected to take these shots, and she misses both of those technical free throws. And that shot no good either. Finch has only made one. So the score is still 34-31. Seems like we've had a little bit of a scoring drought here. And that is Kopiar getting it over to Finch. Finch on the baseline, driving. Finch up, Finch no good. And they're going to say that she stepped on the baseline there. And there's a shot that's up and that's blocked, but they're going to say that number 40, Irwin, got fouled on her way up. And that will be a foul. Looks like on Pulowski. That shot is up, and that is good for Irwin. Irwin 3 for 3 so far at the line. And the score is 34-32. Could cut it to a 1-point lead here, and does. So Irwin with 2 big shots there. Aubrey Irwin coming through at the foul line. It's a 34-33 game. The Hoopsters on top as they lose the ball, and it's a loose ball. And it will go back to the Swarm. So the Swarm have it once again with a chance to take the lead. And there's a timeout on the floor. So 34-33 the score. We're at 5:20 to go here. It's another good one. And what a good way to wrap up our broadcasting day. And we'll be back with more right here on GBA TV. Back here at GBA TV with the score 34-33. The Hoopsters, who have led all game, but the Swarm have a chance to come here and take the lead with a little over 5 minutes to go. On the other end, that is Irwin. Irwin pump fake. Irwin shot. Irwin no good, but she got fouled on her way up. That foul on Jackson. And so it will be Aubrey Irwin, who has gone 4 for 4 from the foul line, with a chance to add to that total and even give the Swarm the lead. First shot is up for Irwin, and just like she's done all day, makes that one. It'll be Finch checking back into the ball game. It'll be Jackson to sit. I do believe with that last foul, Jackson is in some foul trouble. Shot is up. Irwin swish. Irwin not having any problems at the line so far. The score 35-34. It's the Swarm on top for the first time all game, and that lead comes with just at 5 minutes to go. As Finch cuts a double team, puts it up, that's no good, and it's rebounded by the Swarm. And that is Falwell on that rebound, and that is number 1, Soprano, bringing the ball up the floor. There's a shot from the corner, that is up and good! That is a three-pointer for Aubrey Irwin, who's gotten it done all day long from the foul line, and that is a big three-point bucket to give her team a 4-point advantage, 38-34. Inside, it's stolen away by the Swarm. That is Soprano on that steal. She gets a call from the Swarm sideline. Finch on Soprano. Over comes to Irwin, who has been the MVP here so far for the Swarm. And there's a Swarm timeout. That timeout comes with 4:09 to go in this second half. And so with a 4-point lead, we'll be back. Coming out of the timeout, it is the Swarm 38, the Hoopsters 34. And to inbound it will be Falwell for the Swarm. And she gets it inbounds and stolen away there by Cashel. Cashel pushing the ball back down the floor now for the Hoopsters. Cashel's got it. She's going to take a shot. That's no good. It's a rush shot, and that was taken by Joy. Joy's got it back, and so a missed opportunity there for the Hoopsters, and that is Irwin. Irwin dishes it off, and that's going to be a blocked shot, and it's going to stay in the arms of the Swarm. There's a shot by Joy. That's up. That's no good. I'm sorry. That is Soprano who has it, but anyway, she misses that shot, and that is Geis who's got it. On the other end, that's Dennison. Dennison has a little bit of a trouble corralling that ball. There's a long shot from downtown. That's way short. That shot there by Kopiar. She was trying to put her team down by one, but that was just a little bit too much of a rush shot there, I felt like, for the Hoopsters, as Jackson gets set to check back in here for the Lady Hoopsters. That is Soprano bringing the ball up the floor now. Off to Irwin, and that ball is going to bounce over the backboard, and that will be out of bounds as Jackson checks back in, as does Pulowski, and sitting will be Bergman as well as Cashel. Geis inbounds it to Dennison. Dennison will play the point. She will call the offense. She's double teamed. She gets it over, and that is Jackson who's got it now. Back to Dennison. Cross-court pass to Jackson. Jackson's going to cut it inside, have it stolen away on the cut. And that is Soprano who's got it. Bounce pass over to Renard. Renard 4-3, that is no good. And being pulled down when she was going for that rebound is Kopiar. And I do believe Kopiar is going to come back this way and attempt a couple of free throws, or at least a 1-and-1. 2:53 to go in this exciting game. 38-34 is the score. And Kopiar at the line. First shot up is short, and it's rebounded by Falwell. Splitting the double team of the Swarm. That's Irwin who's got it. Gives it outside to Falwell. She's got Geis on her. Geis almost swatting it away, and does swat it away. And that is in the hands of Kopiar now. Kopiar over to Jackson. Jackson outside. That's a shot for Dennison. That is up, and that is no good. Rebounded by number 14, Pulowski, who puts it back up and in. And the lead for the Swarm back down to 2. Some trouble in the backcourt there for number 10, Joy. And she is being surrounded, and that's a tie-up. And I do believe that possession arrow belongs to the Hoopsters. It does. So the Hoopsters are going to get this ball back. 2:13 to go in the second half. It's the Swarm 38, the Hoopsters 36, as Finch gets set to check back in, and she will. And who will she be subbing in for? That is the question. She'll be subbing back in for Kopiar, it looks like. Jackson inbounds it to Dennison. Over to the right corner. That is Finch. 4-3. It's good! What a clutch 3 for Finch to put the Hoopsters back up by 1. We're under 2 minutes to play in the second half. And that is Soprano who's got it. Pass it inside. Putting up a shot is Falwell. That's no good. That's rebounded by Pulowski. Back come the Hoopsters on offense. That's Dennison who's going to pull up. And they're being told not to rush any shots here. Over to Finch up at the top. Finch is going to reset everything and let the offense do its thing. Cross-court pass to Jackson. Jackson is swarmed by the Swarm. Back up top to Finch. Finch over to Dennison. Dennison, bounce pass over to Geis. Geis almost has to take it away. And what's going to happen here? It's going to go to the Swarm. So Geis had it swatted away from her. There's a dangerous pass. It's going to somehow end up in the hands of Irwin. And it will be Swarm ball. There's a 3 for Falwell, and that's no good. And that is rebounded by Jackson. And that will be a foul on the Swarm.
What was the call, sir? Sir, was there a foul?
Oh, no.
Okay, thank you. Time out, time out.
So the score 39-38. There's a timeout by the Hoopsters. It is Swarm ball. We weren't quite able to get a ruling as to what the call was, but It is 39-38 in favor of the Hoopsters with 1:06 to go in this game, or at least here in the second half. We'll see what happens here. Been a very exciting one here at court number 1 at this GBA Celtic Classic at Dublin Jerome High School. And it will be the Swarm's ball to begin this possession. Inbounded. That's swatted away by Finch. Finch has it, and they're going to say that it's going to go out of bounds off of Finch. I thought Finch had a chance at a breakaway there, but she wasn't quite able to catch up to that ball before it bounced out of bounds. And so it will be Swarm ball. And they're trying to set up a pick, and that is swatted away by Finch. Finch has it. Finch has it on offense. Good defensive play there again by Finch, who drives it in, has it swatted away from her, and it's a loose ball. There's a scrum for it, and the possession arrow belongs to the Swarm, so the Swarm will have the ball back. That'll be Falwell inbounding. They're going to have to beat a press here if they're going to get this ball into the front court. Yeah, there's not much of a press. They kind of fake that press. It's Falwell. With Finch on her. Up top to Soprano. Soprano. And it's taken away by 23 Kopiar. And there's a jump ball, and that will favor the Hoopsters. We're at 28 seconds to go. What an exciting ball game we have witnessed here. With the score 39-38, the Hoopsters, as sitting for the Swarm will be Irwin. And checking in for the Hoopsters will be number 32, Dennison. Sitting will be Pulowski. Inbounds it comes. That's to Kopiar. Back to Jackson. Jackson gets it across the timeline up to Geis. Geis is going to pull it out and pass it back to Kopiar. Kopiar is going to be fouled, and I do believe they're going to get that foul on number 3, Renard, Livy Renard. And so Kopiar will go to the line, where so far on the day, she is 4 of 6. Checking back into the ball game, Aubrey Irwin, and Livy Renard will come out. First shot is up and goes in there for Kopiar. Big shot there for her. Makes it a 40-38 game. 17 seconds to go. Kopiar at the line. Second shot up and good. 41-38 the score. 15 seconds to play. Swarm with the ball, and there's a timeout on the Swarm bench. And we'll go ahead and take that with them with 14 seconds to go. You're watching this exciting matchup between the Swarm and the Hoopsters right here on GBA TV. Back here, court number 1, the site of this exciting game between the Hoopsters and the Swarm. Hoopsters lead it by 3. Hoopsters led for most of the game. Swarm came back, took a lead, and then the Hoopsters regained that lead just a short time ago. So inbounds it comes to the Swarm with 14 seconds to go. That is Irwin. Irwin double teamed in the corner. It's swatted away by Jackson, and it hits the scorer's table, and it will remain Swarm ball. 8 seconds to go. Irwin to inbound. Irwin's had the hot hand so far for the Swarm. And she's looking for somebody to pass it to, having a lot of trouble finding someone. She finally does find someone, and that would be Soprano. And they're going to get Dennison with a push. And it's a 1-and-1. So, going to get some height back into the ball game. That would be Pulowski. And sitting will be Dennison, who just picked up that foul. I'd imagine they're probably saving her for the offensive side because she's done pretty well on offense here so far today, has Dennison. All right, so here we go. A 1-and-1 for Soprano. First shot is up. It's good. So now, if you're the Swarm, do you try to intentionally miss this, grab the rebound, and put it back up? You only have 8 seconds to work with. Second shot is up, and she makes it. All right, so that answers that question. 41-40. It is Hoopsters' ball, and it will be a foul on number 1, Soprano. And she fouled Kopiar, who made a couple of big free throws a little bit ago. 6 seconds to go as Irwin checks back in, and Renard checks out. Livy Renard out. Aubrey Irwin in. First shot is up for Kopiar, and she knocks it in. So the score, 42-40. Hoopsters back up by 2. Kopiar's second shot is up and good. So again, Kopiar comes through big time at the charity stripe. There are 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that is going to do it. They run out of time. That shot won't count. And that is how this exciting ball game ends, with the Hoopsters winning it 43-40. And that will be our final broadcast of today here on GBA TV. We'll be back with plenty more tomorrow here at Dublin Jerome High School for Kayla Cazell.
Good job, Coach.
I didn't even get a chance to say my name.
Goodbye. That was the greatest.
Yeah.
What's funny is in my head, I'm walking over. I said, "Don't unplug it till he's done."
Yeah.
But I walked over there. And I saw him. I was like, and then I was like, "What did I just tell myself?"
You've been up since what time?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I walked there. I said, "Yeah, I'll just wait till he's done." And I looked at it and just grabbed it. And I was like,
you're
"Yeah." That'll work.
You got it, man.
Yeah, we'll just carry this in there and we'll be good.
All right, let me get my stuff here.
Honey, give me that trash. I'll go throw it away.
Thank you. Here, hold on.
Do any of these girls play tomorrow?
Oh, God.
Probably. So you might as well take them and put them in here. Just put them in the computer.
I mean,
You know, you'll have someone say, "Oh, I already gave you my."
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh no.